for an 18-year-old, I go from being sitting in classrooms in May, graduating high school, to being a multimillionaire a month later, in June.
Insane. From when we were kids, I mean, I was thinking about these as I was preparing for this, that we dealt with this on like a high level. All of a sudden we were in this, like, for me, it was like, holy shit, now we're in this room and this shit is real. It's not like I had that moment. We were sitting in that room at Reebok and Paul Fireman was very smart. He said to you, I know you're going to go see Nike and Adidas, but I'm going to offer you $10 million today if you don't go see them and shake my hand.
Right.
He wrote you a $10 million check in that room and you turned it down. I can't say I would have turned it down. I mean, I think in the room I said, yo, let's take this check and get the hell out of here. But you turned it down. What was that thinking? Do you remember what you were thinking and why you did it?
Right. I mean, I remember, first of all, it was one of the longest damn tables I ever seen in my life.
Longest table, boardroom table.
Yeah, it was one of the longest boardroom tables I ever seen in my life. And I had no idea what he was doing at the other end of the table. I just seen him writing.
Yeah.
And he was talking, had his head down. He was making sure he didn't get anything wrong on that on that check. And when he slid it down there and he said, listen, if you take this right now, you just promised me you won't go talk to Nike or Adidas, you can take this right now. And I was lost for words at the beginning. I mean, shit, I flew in from Akron, Ohio, from Spring Hill, from the projects. I mean, our rent is like $17 a month.
Exactly.
And now I'm looking at a $10 million check.
That you can leave with.
Yeah, and go to high school and go back to the classroom the next day.
I always tell people that you were going to homeroom the next morning.
I was going to homeroom the next morning. So I'm like, holy shit. That's my first initial thing. And then I for some odd reason, I started thinking, like, if this guy, he's a great guy too. I still love him to this day. He's an unbelievable guy. But if he's willing to give me a $10 million check right now, what is it to say that Nike or Adidas is not willing to give me 20 or 30, up front, or to say that maybe the upfront money is not even the biggest thing, maybe let's start thinking about the back end, and, I've always, and that comes from, my uncles as well, just, never put all your eggs in one basket, and give it an opportunity, give people an opportunity to say what they got, to pitch themselves. And, we always say, listen, we're gonna hear all three companies. We wanna hear all three companies, what they have to say, what's their plan, and I still can't believe I left that 10.
I'm gonna forewarn you suckers right now. There's gonna be a LeBron James dedication video. If you don't like it, take your bitch ass on. My ducks, my swans, welcome to the pond. My name is Dorian from Group82Music.com, and right here we got LeBron talking about how at 18 years old, he turned down $10 million when his mama's rent was $17 a month. LeBron Raymond James Sr. was born December 30th, 1984 in Akron, Ohio. What's up, Shahara? And this man was born with a daddy that was never around, to a 16-year-old woman named Gloria James in the projects in the Midwest, in a city that a lot of people be forgetting about and don't really understand how rugged it really is. This man was blessed with unbelievable physical gifts. And we know a lot of people in the hood who had it. But LeBron had something a little extra. He had the sense to know that the lifestyle he was living, the life he wanted for him and his mom, that ain't gonna be it. His mom couldn't take care of him throughout her life. He had to move in with coaches and family members, and then he finally found a surrogate father figure in Drew Joyce Sr. Drew Joyce Sr. had a son, Drew Joyce Jr., who had a friend, Sheon Cotton, who had a friend, Willie McGee. And these were the first three dudes to make the big four of LeBron James and gave him a family that he really needed. These dudes were some killers. They were some hoopers. At the time, I was playing for the Dayton Mohawks in Dayton, Ohio. We just finished third in the nation. We were a year older than them. We kept hearing murmurs about, yo, it's a team up north near Cleveland that's killers, but they weren't in our age group. We weren't going to play. So now you got 4 kids from the inner city of Akron who got elite basketball skills because they went and finished second in the country in the AAU National Championship in 8th grade, which is a big deal. Everybody plays in that tournament. So they come back home to Akron, and everybody thinks that they're gonna go to the local high school, Buckle. Side note, Akron Buckle has a player right now named Chris Livingston, okay? You need to go and look up him. Google him right now. He's in high school. He is a motherfucker. Coach Clark told you so. We back in the video. Buckle's all black. St. Vincent St. Mary's private school over there. They're like, hey, yo, Drew Joyce Sr., we can bring you over here and get you just some coaching positions, and your kids can come here for free. You know, you got some other kids if you bring those 4 boys with you. So they did it. So now everybody looking at LeBron and the Big Four like they some sellouts. Like how some of you hoe ass niggas looking at Ice Cube and 50 Cent. Y'all don't get it. It's a bigger picture than what you see out in front of you. Drew Joyce Sr. got that. He goes there. They become one of the best high school basketball teams in the country. LeBron, by his sophomore year, is the best basketball player in the country. He is going to be the next Michael Jordan. He's 15, 16 years old, the same age that his mom had him. And everybody's telling him in 2 years, you're going to be worth $100 million. This man's in the fucking hood. At 18 years old, it's a fever pitch. ESPN had never really showed high school regular season games like that. They showed like 6 of LeBron's games that year. This man was a national name at 18 years old and broke as fuck. Nike sent a rep to live in Akron, Ohio his entire senior year because they wanted to make sure that they got this phenom. LeBron meets with all 3 major shoe companies, Adidas, Reebok, and Nike. They offered him $10 million when he was broke. And at 18 years old, he had the wherewithal to say no. Now, I know a lot of y'all's thinking like, well, he knew he was gonna get $100 million. You don't know you're gonna get shit. Ain't shit guaranteed. Because when that shit's sitting in front of you, motherfucker, you wanna grab that shit. And look at what LeBron's done since then. He got $90 million from Nike in that deal. He's essentially damn near a billionaire. And out of every major athlete in the history of American sports, name me somebody who is more popular, who has gotten in less trouble, who's been less of a role model. His biggest scandal is that he left Cleveland, sad asses, for Miami Heat's champion asses when he was 25 years old and raised millions of dollars for the Boys and Girls Club when he did it. This man is a modern day civil rights leader. This man has been blessed with the mentality that doesn't exist in the hood like that. And I'm not saying people in the hood ain't smart. I'm saying that the social pressures that go on in the hood could have conformed him easily. This man has done more for African Americans and a lot of people in the Akron community than probably anybody ever. You can compare him to everybody, you talk shit, say he ain't clutch, you can say what you want. But when you really look at this man's life, what can you learn, man? How many of y'all know people whose moms had them when they were teenagers? Look at what they doing now. How many people do y'all know that were elite athletes when y'all were younger? Look what they're doing now. How many people you know got a little bit of money didn't know how to act? Look at what LeBron's doing. Nipsey was a rare one. Kobe was a rare one. We got a lot of rare ones still living amongst us. My man LeBron, he's an uncommon man amongst uncommon men. So even if you don't fuck with him on the court, if you're of my ilk, stop disrespecting him off it. Mount the pond. Y'all stay true.
Got me working for shit. I'm not here snagging my cause I be working it. Ain't got no help cause this is real independent. It's all good though. Can't then take credit for the growth. Cause it's
Group82music.com.